Very good. Let's call to order this meeting of the Broome County Industrial Development Agency on November 16th, 2022. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of our October 19th board meeting as well as our November 7th special board meeting. Dan, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Joe. Any discussion?
Did we make the one modification I found for?
I did,
Okay.
and I resent it.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Good catch, by the way, Peter.
It's not my forte.
Let's have a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving onward to our public comment session. Anybody wishing to speak on any matter concerning the IDA? Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments, if you will, to 5 minutes. Would anybody like to speak? Moving onward to the executive director's report. Stacy.
Yes, good afternoon. Just a couple of things quickly. Some project related items. If you've driven by IBM, you'll see it's the demolition is in progress. It's going well. There's been a lot of activity related to getting a brick from the former Crocker building. You'd be amazed how many calls we've received on that. So we are working with LaChase. We are offering a day tomorrow, the 17th, from 11 to about 4:30. The site closes as far as, you know, there will be nobody on site after 4:30. So tomorrow from 11 to 4:30, we're going to stage an area over to the west, kind of the southwest corner by Barton, at the intersection of Barton Road and Watson Boulevard. So people can come get their bricks. We're also bringing a load here. So like I said, we've had a number of inquiries on that, but it's going well, on time. We expect that to be done from before the end of the year. They'll prep the site for ultimately the new phase of development. So that's going well.
Is there a limit on how many they can take, or?
We're trying to keep to just a couple per person,
I
but
had built a new patio, I was just wondering.
there have been a few people coming into the site with pickup trucks. So
Probably save, what do you call it, tipping fee costs, if you
Yeah,
let them take the
so-
bricks away.
yeah, so we're, you know, and there are a few items there.
Average.
Yeah, that LaChase has pulled out some benches from the old bowling alley. There's a few items we'll take a look at to see if there's anything that we would want to keep, but most everything is being donated to the Endicott Heritage Museum. But it is going quickly. It's, you know, I drive by there frequently. It's strange to not see it anymore, but I think it ultimately it's nice to see it finally move forward. Just an update on activity related to the option for purchase for land in the towns of Maine and towns of Union. Shoemaker Engineering, after following our meeting on the 7th, Shoemaker Engineering was on site that week to do their preliminary due diligence, and they're working through that process now. So we expect to have a preliminary analysis by the end of the year, with the exception of maybe some geotech borings, and that's only because the specialty the engineers in those fields are so backed up with work. But we'll but that's moving forward. On November 9th, we did have a meeting with representatives from the towns of Maine and Union, the supervisors of each, as well as the county executive also is in participation, and Jim and Dan and John, just to provide them a high level overview of our plans to look at that for a future development site. They brought up some good questions, mostly of a technical nature, things like, you know, building code, whose building code do you follow? You know, a lot of what comes to mind specifically at that local level. So that was a good discussion. We left that as we will provide a presentation to their boards respectively in December. So I think it's December 20th and 21st. I don't have the dates immediately in front of me, but we'll work with Shoemaker and Alon to prepare a presentation to the town boards to give them an update on what our plan is. We are still tracking the FAST application. We're hopeful that application will open soon. So we're gearing up for a few different sites for potential applications for funds for either pre-development work or potentially infrastructure work. And then just a little more on one other thing, on November 4th. We did announce the beginning of the feasibility study for a multimedia center to be determined really to honor the legacy of Rod Sterling in the city of Binghamton. We had a lot of participation from the city, the county, the Sterling Foundation, the Sterling family. So we'll begin that work after the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll form a steering committee that will look at this process, beginning with programming, and the programming would lead us to some site analysis and some project costs. But there's been a lot of excitement about that in the community, and I just thank the board for their support of this a portion of this funding. And then lastly, this time of year, we're also beginning a number of compliance related items. So we'll be issuing our annual letters to both pilot and loan recipients, requesting all their year-end information, which will ultimately go into our Paris reporting in the beginning of 2023.
Auditors the same this year as last.
Yes.
Any questions for Stacy beyond that one? You've had a chance to look at the internal financial report through October. Any questions?
Well, note, just quickly that the money in the transition account, I think there was roughly 306,000 has been reinvested. Myself, Natalie, Teresa, and Dina did meet with Jeff Lake and Scott Beaver. Scott will be taking over our investment account upon the departure of Brad Eaton. So we had a good discussion with Jeff and Scott, and I have asked Scott to come in and do just a brief for the year-end review of our investments at our December meeting.
Loan activity reports. Natalie, you have some updates for us?
I do, thank you. I wanted to provide the board with some updates on three of the loans that are in litigation. The first one is Alice's Closet. If you recall, we could not find the owner, Stacy Miller. Well, Ms. Miller's finally been found and she was served. She has answered the complaint and file a motion within 30 days of being served. That has not happened. So now an affidavit is being executed to support a default judgment. So I'll give you more update after that's been filed. The balance of that loan is $25,000 plus interest, fees, and penalties. The next loan is Denise O'Donnell. She owns a hair salon in Norwich, New York. Ms. O'Donnell was served and failed to respond within the 30 days. A default judgment motion has been filed, and that one is pending. The return date is January 27th of 2023. The balance of that loan is $10,000 plus interest, fees, and penalties. The next is the owner of Spec Op Tactical Center, Craig Letts. Again, this is another case of being able to find that owner. So Mr. Lex has been found and personally served. He was to answer the complaint or file a motion within 30 days of being served. That has not happened. So an affidavit is being executed to support the default judgment motion. Again, when I have a date for that, I will certainly share it with all of you. The original loan for this was $165,000. The balance right now is $145,310 plus all the fees and penalties. And then the only other one that is in default is FA Guernsey, but they are in bankruptcy, so we're not able to go after them at this time. So, keep everyone apprised.
Are there any assets behind any of these? I know there's personal guarantees, most likely, but any assets, especially with Spec Op?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Fortunately. Yeah.
You moonlight on the side? This works.
Natalie, that's,
Going after them.
Natalie, that Spec Op was how much was
It
it?
was originally 165.
Oh, and it's down to 70 now.
Well, so
There's two.
two loans.
Oh.
So there's a BDF and a speed loan.
Oh,
So I apologize. Yes. So
I
they're
see.
just
Yeah,
combined.
got it.
I combined them into
got them both.
one total amount. Yep.
One,
Yeah. So
Yep.
the total he owes the IDA is
Yeah.
145.
thank you.
Any other questions? Moving on to new business. Item number 6, resolution approving $150,000 emergency loan request from P Squared Custom Millwork from the Speed Loan Fund Program to assist in the purchase of machinery and equipment for use at its facility at 127 Russell Lane, Oxford, New York, 13830. Stacy, or Natalie, I'm
Actually, that's
sorry.
gonna be Natalie.
Natalie.
Thank you, John. I first wanted to refresh everyone's memory since it's been some time since we have done a Steed loan presentation. The Steed loan program is designed to assist existing businesses in the 8-county region. So that's Broome, Shenango, Cortland, Delaware, Otsego, Tompkins, Tioga, and Schoharie. As where the BDF and the BRE loan funds are only for businesses located in Broome County. So this is a $150,000 emergency loan request from Tamara Tarbell, owner of T-Squared Custom Millwork, Inc., to assist her in purchasing machinery and equipment, specifically a CNC machine for use at her facility in Oxford, New York. This new CNC machine will substantially increase the company's capacity and capabilities. T-Squared Custom Millwork will now be able to complete its orders within the same facility rather than outsourcing to subcontractors as they are currently doing now. T-Squared Custom Millwork, Inc. was formed in May 2010. The business was purchased from the previous owner by Tracy Tarbell. Mr. Tarbell, husband of Tamara, had been the operations manager of the prior business, which is TER Cabinet Works, since its inception in 1995. In January 2016, Tamara became the majority owner and operation manager of T-Squared Custom Millwork. Upon the unfortunate death of Tracy, her husband, in March of 2022, Tamara became 100% owner of this company. T-Squared Custom Millwork is a commercial cabinet shop and millwork supplier in the central southern tier. The majority of the business comes from healthcare, banking, and school projects. Although the company remained operational during the COVID crisis, there was a significant reduction in sales during this period. This new CNC machine is necessary to accommodate a new and growing customer base, as well allow the company to stay competitive in the future. The purchase of this machine was part of an expansion project Tamara and her husband had put on hold due to the COVID pandemic. The advisory loan committee and I recommend approval of this loan for the following reasons. There's adequate cash to cover the debt. All 12 full-time equivalents jobs will be retained, and 3 new full-time jobs will be created. There is a strong corporate and personal guarantee of the principal. A first position on the new CNC machine to be purchased, with a second mortgage position on the business property and building subordinate to NBT Bank. The loan will also be secured with the corporate guarantee of the real estate holding company that are Offer Properties LLC, as well as the personal guarantee of Tamara Tarbell. Anyone have any questions?
For this explanation, you've read the material. Is there a motion? Is
Motion.
there a second?
Jim,
Thanks, Jim. Any discussion?
has anyone ever been to this business?
I have. Mhm. They were not
And backing your recommendation?
correct. Yes, they're very successful company. They're adding a whole separate building to accommodate the work, the amount of work they're getting, so growing. Nicely.
So they got the money elsewhere for the new addition of the building,
Correct.
and now they're just looking for some additional funding that the bank said, must have said no to.
No, it's not that they didn't, no, it's just. They came to us.
Okay.
You know, instead. Yeah, we've had,
Yeah.
that. we've had
successful,
we've had 2, both have been paid off. Yep.
More attractive rate, 75% more.
I didn't want to say that.
That's about. We haven't.
Yeah.
Since I've been on, I don't recall doing one of these, that's what I'm just asking.
Oh, yeah.
More than senior.
Yes, our rates are much more favorable. Again, though, we don't want to compete with the bank. We like the partner.
And just
Yes,
to
you
note,
do.
it's our intention at the close of 2022. That the terms of the emergency loan, which the board had supported specifically to assist during COVID would expire, sunset. And we would go back to our original in terms underwriting process for loans going forward.
Principal and interest.
Principal and yeah,
Right.
So just to educate myself, so Shenango County has an IDA, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
so these
I-
funds are funds originated with us back in, my gosh, what's Steve, the 90s? So we serve really
Early
only
90s.
as we're the administrator of the funds, but the requirements of this one, that's ARC, right? STEED is ARC. So the requirement of STEED is that we serve a population outside of just Broome.
Broader.
That's, that's the federal, requirements of the program.
But they could go to the Shenango County IDA. I'm just educating that, right? They have, but they don't have Steve probably, does, you think?
No,
I don't
They
know
don't?
their loan program.
Okay.
no, they don't, but they did provide a loan to help with the building as well.
Okay.
They partnered with the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. it was just-
So any Steve, we administer out of this was.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
For
Yeah, I
the-
believe
for
we're
the
the
eight
only one,
counties.
yes, I believe we're the only one that actually received funds to do that.
And that's a broader area, right?
Yeah,
Eight
eight
counties.
counties.
Eight counties, yeah.
Eight counties, so right, that's the only way that we can actually do any kind of programming outside of Broome is through
Okay.
Steve.
Thank you.
And there's representatives from each county, I presume.
On the.
loan,
committee.
right, on the-
Yeah.
Any additional questions for Nadia? We have a motion and a second. Let's have a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Are we going into executive
I
session?
do not have any items.
Does anybody have a reason to go into executive session?
Maybe able to take a card?
I forgot mine. There's the card. Well, good. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you, Dan. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's like.
whoa, we're getting better. We're getting better.
Well, I don't know, that's not good. We don't have to talk.